Yo, we live, man, and we back. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose, man. And y'all know what I'm here for, man. Here to bring you another edition of my starting five for DraftKings and FanDuel, alright? If you're new to the channel, man, welcome. What I want you to do is hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, turn your notification bell on so you can be here rocking with us every day when we drop NBA content, alright? Still got NFL content dropping Friday for y'all coming out, man. Be on the lookout for that. But I'm gonna give y'all what y'all here for, man. But before we do, we got the lineup review. Just going over the plays I gave y'all yesterday, showing y'all I'm true to my word. I'm really playing what I'm giving y'all and seeing how I fared, man. Seeing how our strategy panned out and how well we did on yesterday's slate, all right? So with that being said, I got my best lineup pulled up, man. This is in the $40 single entry. We came in 111th place, man. 125, a little slight win to start out the season. I went real light yesterday. It's still early in the year, man. Usually take like 1 or 2 weeks to get a good feel for the NBA slate, man, especially with a lot of new faces and new places. You want to give it 1 or 2 weeks, man, so you really get a feel on rotations and what teams are trying to do with their current roster. So I'll probably keep it light the rest of this week and then slowly start to ramp up. So just did a single entry and I put a couple into the 20 max, but nothing major. But this was my best lineup right here, man. 319.75. Like I said, came in 111th place. If you caught the updated starting five yesterday, I went with Spencer Dinwiddie, Anthony Edwards, Brandon Ingram, Precious Achua, and Domantas Sabonis that we posted over there on Twitter. That's another thing, guys. Be sure you follow on Twitter at DFS Goose so you can get the updated starting five usually about 30 minutes before lock. So, all right. Listen, so with the rest of my lineup, all right, let's start out with Spencer Dinwiddie in the starting five, man. We knew he was going to be chalk. Came in at 62% on in this contest, man. We thought he'd do a lot better here, man. He got in a little early foul trouble in the first half, but I still expected him to still expected Spencer Dinwiddie to put up over 30 fantasy points. Really let us down here in this spot, but it didn't kill us too bad just because of how owned he was, man, at 62%. But 25 points from Spencer Dinwiddie. Definitely needed more on yesterday's slate. Very high scoring slate yesterday, all right? Shooting guard play, man, I gave y'all Anthony Edwards. This could have been so much better, but this blowout held him down right here. But he still gave us a solid performance at 7,100. Got him right at 15% on, man. Put up 44 DK points. Very solid effort out of him. I just wish the Rockets could have kept this game a little closer. He really could have pushed for 50+ right here. But very solid Anthony Edwards and nice ownership, all right? Then I gave you guys Brandon Ingram at my small forward. Got him at 16% ownership. I knew he'd be lower on. I wanted to get him in there, especially with no Zion, as I knew majority of the offense would run through him. He had a solid day. 43 DK points, but not nearly enough for yesterday's slate, and you definitely needed some of that Knicks Celtics double overtime thriller. Whenever you get games like that on the slate, man, you definitely gonna want some parts of it, man. Just too many minutes and too much fantasy goodness over there when you get double overtime games. So that would hurt us a little bit yesterday too. But Brandon Ingram was still solid for me. I expected 50+ from him as well, but they kind of got handled by Philly as he didn't see any real closing runs. So that hurt Brandon Ingram's ceiling type performance him. Then we went Precious Achua. Just trying, if you, like I said, if you follow on Twitter, man, you know I said it was a stars and scrubs type night. So to counteract that, I wanted to get me a few cheap guys, but then just go balance all around. So that was my strategy last night. I went Precious Achua just to get away from the chalky Scotty Barnes, but it was so many value plays yesterday, so many ways you could have went. And a couple of them did really well. If you look at like Durante from the Pacers, we really needed him in this lineup instead of Precious Achua, but 19 points from Precious Achua, just okay. Didn't kill you at 3,100. Like I said, it was just my pivot from some of that Scotty Barnes chalk. If you went Scotty Barnes, I think he only gave like 22 DK points, so not much of a difference. I just pivoted here for the ownership, but like I said, just okay from Precious Achua. He missed a couple of dunks early. He could have had a slightly bigger game. He actually supposed to outperform Scotty Barnes, but things happen, DFS. Like I said, it's still early, man. We working our way get back into it. Rounding out the starting five, I went with Domantas Sabonis. Yes, I thought he would come in at lower ownership than the likes of Jokic and Embiid, and I just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to go more balanced around my cheap guys versus stars and scrubs. I thought there was a lot of guys in that 7K range that could really outperform their salary, and so we went Sabonis here. Very solid F. I thought this game would be the overtime game. I was hoping for overtime here, but we got Sabonis, 24% ownership, double, 55 DK points. Very solid effort from Sabonis right here. Rounding out my lineup, man. I told y'all, hey, Ball was one of my favorite plays. I'm surprised he didn't come in at higher on, but 25%, man. I definitely wanted to lock him in. I told you he had real triple-double potential. Fell a rebound and a couple assists short, but gave you 31 real-life points. And it was a good little run back from Sabonis just to give you some game correlation, as I thought this game could be one of the higher total games on the slate, and it was until the Knicks game with the double overtime. So definitely a nice performance from LaMelo Ball. Then finishing up the lineup, man, my other cheap guy I want to take a shot on with Desmond Bane. Simply, I knew he was in the starting lineup, and we knew he could shoot the ball, man. He was a good shooter for the Grizzlies off the bench last year. So with him moving into the starting lineup with the likes of Ja Morant and things of that nature, I knew his usage probably wouldn't be as high, but the Ja Morant driving to the basket and pick and rolls, I knew would create open shots for Bane. All he had to do was just knock a few of them down. He's a very good three-point shooter, so that's why we rolled the dice with Bane. It's just a cheap guy that I knew would be lower owned than some of the Scotty Barnes and things of that nature. So I wanted to go Bane's my other cheap play. Got him at 12%, very solid. He gave us a solid performance. 10X for us right here, 22 points. Very nice game from Desmond Bane, all right? And then lastly, I went Jeremy Grant, 6,500. Got him at 8%. He got us right at 40 DK points. Very solid. I expected a little more from him. I actually wanted a little more. I felt like I wanted to go balance yesterday, guys. I thought it was a lot of guys in this range right here, 6,500 to about 8K, that could really just outperform their salary, and that's what I tried to take advantage of yesterday. Almost worked out for us. We still needed a couple of those other little value pieces, and maybe some of that Knicks game would have helped, but very solid start the season. Nice little cash right here at 320. But let's get to tomorrow's slate or today's slate, whenever you're watching this, man. Let's see what I like for y'all this Thursday, all right? Got them pulled up on DraftKings, man. It's a 3-game slate. It's going to be tough. Listen, you don't see him here, but Luka's very much in play. Him and Giannis are probably going to be the two highest on pay-up options. I'm going to try to pivot from those two, as you can see by my starting five. So coming in at point guard, first guy I want to look at is Trae Young, 9,100. My thing for me is really value starting out the season. Like I said, it's a lot of unknowns as far as rotations and the minutes and how teams are going to try to attack this season. So I'm just trying to stick to what I know or what I got a good sense of to begin the year. And I'm doing that with Trae Young right here, especially this 9,100. He has a good chance of outperforming this salary right here. And I like getting to him. You know, he's the scorer. He does everything for this Atlanta Hawks offense in a battle against the guy he's always compared to because of the draft trade and Luka Doncic. I like getting the Trae Young at 9,100. Home opener for them right here in Atlanta. I think Trae comes out, especially with the matchup against Luka, and tries to put on a good performance here. I can see him having a big game right here, and I definitely take him at that discount from the likes of Luka and Giannis right here at 9,100. If those two guys don't go crazy, Trae Young can get in that same range of outcomes of those two, and I definitely think he'll be at lower ownership today, all right? Coming in as shooting guard, it's going to be tough to try to find value today, man. That's the thing, especially if you're trying to get to Luka and Giannis. I know it's going to be probably quite a few players who try to go Luka and Giannis and then try to just work in around there, but value is going to be very hard to come by. Pat Connaughton is a guy I want to take a look at right here, 4,500. We saw him have a solid game, first game of the season, and I want to look at him right here, especially with Drew Holiday being questionable. We saw Drew Holiday lead the game, exit the game early on Tuesday. I think he only played like 18 minutes, so we definitely want to keep an eye on that. He already saw a good workload Tuesday. So if Holiday is held out for any reason, I can see him seeing even bigger workload. But at 4,500, he can give you a nice return. He does a little bit of everything. If he can get some scoring going, he can give you a nice return at 4,500 price tag. I like getting the Pat Connaughton. And that small forward, man, just give me Paul George. Y'all know the Clippers, no Kawhi. It is the PG-13 show. Everything runs through him, man. I like getting to him right here. He's really my favorite play on tomorrow's slate. Just trying to take advantage of this price tag right here, 9,700, man. Like I said, if Luka and Giannis don't go crazy, and it's very possible because you look at Luka in his matchup against Atlanta. Great game environment, but you got the likes of Porzingis there to deal with. I think Porzingis is unhappy with his role last year. He's looking for an increased role. I think you can see him try to get a little more involved in his offense, and I think that can hurt Luka's ceiling just a little bit. All right. When you look at Giannis going against the Miami Heat, a very strong defensive team. Very capable of defending Giannis here and making it tougher for him. Not saying they can stop him or anything of that nature, but they can make it a little tougher for him, and Giannis could not have a big performance as he would need for the price tag he's at. So I don't mind getting away from Giannis in this situation. But Paul George at 9,700, everything runs through him. Going against the Golden State Warriors, who are not going to be very stout defensively, I just love Paul George. He's probably my favorite pay-up option on the slate tomorrow, all right? Coming in at power forward. I want to stay in that same game, man, and look at Bielisa. We saw him get like 25 minutes out last game, and he gave us a very strong fantasy performance. He does a little bit of everything, man. And with Draymond Green possibly being limited, they say he was limited last. He still played 30 minutes. The way Bielisa played that first game and how involved he was, I think we could see slowly start to see an increased workload for Bielisa here, especially with Wiseman still out. I can even see him and Draymond being on the court at the same time. So I like getting the Bielisa at this 4,600. One of my favorite value plays for tomorrow as well, right? And then coming in at center, man, my absolute favorite play. I love Ivica Zubac, man. You see him on the thumbnail. I like getting a Zubac across both sides. You hear me? This is a nice price tag at $5,000 with no Serge Ibaka. He could really have a nice performance. Now, I'm not looking for a nice size double-double from Ivica Zubac down here, as the Golden State Warriors don't have a big to contend with Zubac. Zubac is not an unstoppable force down there, but he does have nice game with his back to the basket. He has a nice offensive game to be on the block down here and going against some loony defense or maybe some Draymond. We'll see, but I like Zubac at this price tag. I think he can really pay this off. He has the potential to be the best value per dollar on the slate tonight. All right, there you have it, man. My starting five right here for Thursday in DraftKings: Trae Young, Pat Connaughton, Paul George, Nnamdi Bielisa, and Ivica Zubac. All right, now let's go take a look at FanDuel, see what I'm liking over there, man. And if you're still watching and you haven't hit the like button, what you waiting on? Go on and hit that for your boy. It helps me out, all right? And hit the subscribe button too, man. Let's get the subscribers up, man. As y'all know what we do here for NBA. This is our season, man. I love NBA, my favorite daily fantasy sport. All right, enough of that. FanDuel, let's see what I got for y'all. At the top, I'm want to look at Steph Curry at this 10K price tag, trying to take a $1,000 discount from the likes of Luka and the likes of Giannis and still get access to that ceiling. I'm going Steph Curry over here because he's Trae Young's a little more expensive over here on FanDuel, 9,600. I don't quite get that $1,000 discount like I did over on DraftKings. So I want to look at Steph Curry as he is the main offensive weapon. I think Golden State's favorite in this game by 3. The only way they cover and the only way they're that competitive is Steph Curry is having a good night. So I definitely want to take some shots on him right here on FanDuel. Coming in as shooting guard, man, Paul George, like I said, my favorite pay-up option on both sites, FanDuel and DraftKings. Getting him at 9,900. He's gonna have his hand in everything for this Clippers team, man. I love getting a PG-13 right here in this spot. coming in at small forward. Going right back to Pat Connaughton. Slightly cheaper over here on FanDuel. I'll definitely take that discount. Expect him to see plenty of run in this matchup with the Bucks still being kind of short-handed off the bench and early on in this season. But at 4,300, man, he could step in, especially if Drew Holiday is sidelined or limited in any form or fashion. Get you some Pat Connaughton, all right? Coming in at power 4, I want to look at my boy Bam Adebayo. Yes, sir. The Miami Heat going against the Milwaukee Bucks. Bam Adebayo is another one of those guys. He's going to do a little bit of everything for you. Rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. And what you really hope is that he finds his offensive game in this matchup against the Bucks here. If he can get you some scoring, that's when he really pays off his salary right here. And I like getting to him over on FanDuel at 8,200. Probably come in at a little lower on. We'll see. All right? And rounding out that center, you had to know it was coming, man. Ivica Zubac, I'm telling y'all, man, my favorite value play across both sites. 4,200, absolutely love this on FanDuel. I'm going to have plenty of Zubacs over here, all right? 4,200, he can really crush his price tag on FanDuel. I'm expecting him, no reason he shouldn't see 30 minutes. At this price tag, I'm expecting a nice double-double from Zubac, all right? Get you some Ivica Zubac. And there you have it, man. My starting 5 on FanDuel: Steph Curry, Paul George, Pat Connaughton, Bam Adebayo, and Ivica Zubac, man. Get you some exposure to these guys, man. Get them in your player pool. You know I'm going to have them in mind. Don't be afraid to go a little light tomorrow, especially with being a 3-game slate, like I said, and we still just easing into the season, man. So take your time. Don't overload the boat here, all right? That's going to do it for us here tonight, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll see y'all tomorrow, all right? Let's go.